So my people, have you heard of Restore Britain? Rupert Lowe. Now, if you think that Nigel Farage is racist and their policies, if they go into power, then the UK is doomed. Then when it comes to Rupert Lowe and the far-right extremists and it comes to that organisation, obviously Rupert Lowe has sent a message to Nigel Farage. And initially they was all together until obviously they parted ways. And obviously there's one thing that you want is an organisation to part ways. Now they have their own extreme views. And obviously now, get me, Rupert Lowe's reaching out to Nigel Farage on some, like, can we come together? Obviously we've got areas that we need to kind of discuss and talk about. And if you know about Nigel Farage or Rupert Lowe, they both got big opinions. So, you get me, two bosses. Anyway, let's get into this, just so you understand.
Most of you have probably heard about Reform UK, the right-wing political party headed by Nigel Farage, but you probably haven't heard of Restore Britain. It's even more racist and more far-right sister or brother. So Restore Britain is a new far-right political party launched by Rupert Lowe early this year in 2026. He used to be part of Reform UK but left due to internal disputes and has now started his own offshoot. And if you aren't familiar with exactly what they stand for and the kind of terror they would rain on the British people, I'm going to read out some of their main.
Just before we get into obviously what Rupert Lowe has sent a message, 12 minutes, but we're not going to play the 12 minutes. We're just going to get into the key points.
Mass deportations, reinstating the death penalty, banning the burqas and the hijab, abolishing halal and kosher slaughter exemptions, legalizing pepper spray for self-defense, not too bad, promoting what it describes as Christian principles, shrinking the size of the state, and withdrawing public funding for certain institutions. These ideas place the party towards the very far right of UK politics. If any of these statements sound familiar, you'd have to look no further than Mr. Donald Trump and what he's doing in the US. I'm sure they'd love to introduce an ICE-like institution here to terrorize migrants that are escaping war and just trying to build a life for their families. It's interesting to think that some people actually think that Reform UK aren't far right enough, and a party like this has also sprung up. It also goes to show that there are a lot of people in the UK that resonate with these statements, and these are the people that have voting rights too. So please, if you're a young person and you think that politics doesn't matter or it doesn't affect you, it does. Make sure you stay up.
It does. It does. And
shockingly, Rupert Lowe has fallen in love with the idea of merging Reform and Restore.
Nigel.
I won't bore you with the 12-minute long video. Here's what you need to know. Rupert Lowe has proposed 5 major policies in which Reform and Restore must agree for them to possibly merge. But if he was being honest, this whole video is a dig at Farage and does not show any future possibility of them getting together. See if you can guess what the first non-negotiable will be about.
Every illegal migrant must be deported.
And I know you're thinking, but surely Farage would agree with that. But what he says next is key.
Yes, that must include women and children. Our plan.
it's crazy, isn't it? Every illegal migrant, that must include women and children.
Has outlined exactly how that can be achieved within one parliament. You previously stated that mass deportations are a political impossibility.
So firstly, he brings up the completely abhorrent idea of deporting children, but then also lists where Nigel Farage himself has been wrong. And he comes up with a similar way to shit on Nigel Farage or Reform for each 5 points that he states.
There will be those in Reform who do not agree with the robust nature of such measures, but I believe it is entirely necessary.
So this has nothing to do with bringing together Reform and Restore. This is Rupert Lowe trying to tell the public what Restore will do that Reform wouldn't. I can guarantee you one thing. Neither will do anything to benefit you. The rest of this video is terrifying and extremely reminiscent of the 1930s in Germany. Talking about bringing back the death penalty but only mentioning a certain type of person when talking about it. Talking about Britain being self-sufficient. Making loads of cuts. To be honest with you, none of these 5 promises have anything to do with really benefiting you. But it has everything to do with sacrificing both the safety and potentially the lives of other people in this country simply because they look or believe differently. People that have done no wrong for his own political gain because you're too dense to understand that it's people like him that are fucking this country up, not people that he points the finger at.
Crazy, man. Absolutely absolutely crazy. But let's get into a bit of what he said. The beginning.
Comprehensive deportation policy ever produced in British politics. That plan must be implemented in full and to the letter. Every illegal migrant must be deported, and yes, that must include women and children. Our plan.
Can you hear what's going on in the UK? Can you hear? And do you know now why I'm so... Look, I've been seeing what the extreme far right has been doing and far rights, and I haven't really educated myself too much, you get me? And something maybe triggered something when you have far right people now openly just being out and out racist. You can see the agenda. You can see the hatred between Muslims, and you can see the hatred between anyone that is either immigrant or illegal immigrant or a migrant. It's just what it is. They want everyone out. Like when I saw them things and I called out one person, then you had this flipping Bacon. You get me? You had the nonce flipping start calling man out. It made me realize, bro. Like I was always using my platform for all that stuff, and I will carry on using my platform for certain things like that. But I definitely got to use my platform for a bigger purpose. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And this here, you're hearing children and women. Imagine that children and women, you're fleeing from what's going on in your country, the madness that's going on in your country, and you're being told, oh yeah, we need to kick them out. So what happened when you needed us during Ring Rush days? What happened when we helped build the country up and the economy? What happened back then? So what, you don't need us now? What's happening to all the nurses that are actually saving lives? It's mental, man.
Has outlined exactly how that can be achieved within one parliament. You previously stated that mass deportations are a political impossibility. So Nigel, my message is simple. If you are prepared to work together around serious policies, serious reform, and serious government, then so are we. Not because it's politically convenient for Restore Britain, not because it's personally easy. After the events of the last 18 months, I would certainly rather not be making this offer. But millions and millions of British people deserve a patriotic government that puts our national interest before any personal differences that you and I may have.
I think, see, when the general election starts, and this is me basically saying, even from now, moving to whenever the general election starts, and this is a message to the industry, the community. This is a serious matter here, isn't it? And it's very important. I'm not saying that you need to be doing daily updates, but I'm saying when it is the general election, and our culture need to make sure that our votes count. Because I don't live in the UK. I have family that live in the UK. And if these people get in power, is a serious madness. It's a madness. Please, let's not make the same mistake that we made when we voted to come out of the EU. We voted Brexit. Let's not make that same mistake, guys. So from now, leading up, this is the path that I'm going to take. And making sure I hold my ground. And it's going to be madness with all these little flipping bacons online pushing fake narratives. But it is what it is. Yeah.
Listen, I'm not even a reform fan, but even I can tell you that if Nigel Farage accepts Rupert Lowe's Restore Britain's request to join forces on the right, it would be the most devastating thing for reform to do. So part of me is like, go ahead, go and do it, because we all know, those of us who are thinking people that can see, that have eyes, and listen to what Rupert Lowe says, he is what I would deem a fringe to the point of an extremist. He might be an MP, but I will tell you one thing. If somebody like Rupert Lowe was named Muhammad Aslam and he was a Muslim,
yep,
and this hypothetical Muhammad Aslam MP was to spew the extremist rhetoric that Rupert Lowe does about Muslims, about any other faith, let's talk about the Jewish community. This hypothetical Muhammad Aslam 24/7 says that Jews are a problem in the UK, we should ban kosher food, basically hating on one particular religious demographic. The way that Rupert Lowe does, he would be ostracised and he would be thrown out of Parliament. That's what would happen, and rightfully so, because there are people out there that don't actually want to admit that Rupert Lowe is an extremist. His positions are extremes, and he can say what he wants, but that doesn't free him from being this type of person. I would say that somebody like Rupert Lowe is actually a huge danger to the cohesion of our religious societies in the UK. He's somebody that needs to be held responsible. He's complicit in dehumanizing Muslims because of the way that he speaks about Islam. His rhetoric is absolutely disgusting and should be condemned. I don't care that he's an MP, and so many more people in our political class need to start saying that, because this guy who gets amplified, who joins Tommy Robinson, who gets amplified by Elon Musk, he's worse than the far right. He's on the fringe minorities. Just go and have a look at the stuff that this individual spouts about Islam and Muslims. Literally, we live rent-free in his head. If he did not talk about Islam, he would have no manifesto. Restore Britain is built upon discrimination, prejudice, bigots, and people that follow Rupert Lowe. You are also complicit. I'm sorry, your followers, those that want to support Restore Britain, there is no excuse for supporting somebody like that. Restore Britain is a party for extremists.
Ooh, listen, mental.
So Rupert Lowe recently came out with a video asking Nigel Farage to join forces. And I really hope Nigel Farage actually accepts this proposition by Rupert Lowe. Because Rupert Lowe, if you remember, he was one of the 5 MPs that was elected as a reform cabinet, one of the 5 reform MPs that ended up going to the government. Yet he fell out with Nigel Farage. And I've always said this, look, the Reform Party will most likely win the next general election. However, how you win is important. Winning a minority government will be no good. Because ever since Rupert Lowe has left, we have Restore, we have Reform, we have Advance, and we have the Conservatives. So the vote on the right is split into 4. And that is not a good winning strategy. Ever since Reform won, for whatever reason, Nigel Farage fell out with a lot of the people that helped him get there. People like Rupert Lowe, people like Ben Habib. I also used to work briefly with the Reform Party during the 2024 election, but then after the election, I wasn't really needed and I left. And I also criticized them a bit for, during the election, for only speaking about immigration. I said that you should speak about immigration, but use it as a common thread across issues. Donald Trump didn't win the general election in America by speaking only about immigration. So we should speak about tax cuts. We should speak about free speech, and we can use immigration as a common thread. I think that was taken in the wrong way during that time because they were extremely focused on immigration back then. Now I think the party has evolved, and I think maybe Nigel Farage and the people around him have learned their lesson. So I really hope Nigel Farage accepts this invitation by Rupert Lowe to join forces, because Reform and Restore are probably the 2 leading parties on the right, and that will split the vote, and that will give the advantage to the Greens and Labour Party on the left. And we do not want them to win, because if they win, the United Kingdom is over. And I really mean it. The next general election is our only hope. So we don't want to jeopardize it by having these childish infights. And I really hope that Nigel Farage puts his ego to one side, extend an arm, and start working with the people that helped him get there in the first place.
Let me know your thoughts in the comments, man. Yeah, serious. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. It's serious.